Okay,
Motion to approve.
there's a motion.
I'll second.
And a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous, it carries. Okay, approve the minutes of August 21.
Reading through the minutes from last week's meeting, look good, motion to approve.
Okay,
Second.
got a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous, it carries. All right, claims. I know you guys looked them over, they already gave Ben a hard time.
It's an expense.
I got, $503,488.27, 503,488.27 on general, and 48,139.03 on drainage, 48,139.03.
I'll second.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, it's written wrong then.
What for the 50?
Yeah,
503, 488.27.
is that right,
It says
Rich?
final total. Mhm.
Okay,
That was the second page, or on the back side of the last page.
all righty.
Yep. Yep, and then we go to drainage. And drainage is 48.
I have no idea.
He threw an extra 800 in
We got
there.
an extra 400,000, 400 in there.
Ben, you were a bad boy.
Wrote down the wrong number, $400 higher, so.
Okay,
Good deal.
Tom, we got a motion in a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous, it carries. All right.
Those were, a large part of that was bridges, a pickup,
Bridges pickup and insurance.
insurance was,
60,000 insurance premiums.
Ours was about 120 in premiums.
so
There's that, so there's 100, yeah.
Our workman's comp was.
first part of the year.
80,000 just alone. Was workman's comp.
Yeah,
Wow.
We don't.
That's the bad part. We actually had fewer, isn't that the sad part? They were talking about that at ISAC too, about how
everything's going up.
they said
Tremendously.
pretty much all insurances went up anywhere from 8 to 25%,
Yep.
depending upon what
It
was
has.
going on.
Yeah, we had zero
You know,
premiums
isn't
last
that
year.
crazy?
And homeowners
Yeah.
insurance is jumping about the same.
It is 15, yeah, 15 to 20%, yeah. All these
Cause they
catastrophes.
can.
Right,
Terrible.
We can.
yep. All right,
I don't like losing money.
no, Well, 8:31, I don't see anybody on Zoom. I don't see anybody in here for general public concern, so Ben. Come on up.
Morning.
Morning.
Got the one item on the agenda for today. To approve pay voucher number 4 for Dixon Construction. For $153,729.48. This is. To pay for line item number 7 on there, which are the 5 bridge beams at $30,000 a piece. That is the lion's share of that 153,000. The remainder is line item number 8, structural steel. That is the girder spacers that they put in at the mid span. To keep them from
Flexible.
twisting. Yep, so
These installed.
these are installed.
Saw a picture with the last couple of weeks, he probably maybe even took, and then they were getting them, at least didn't show it, but. So moving along nicely, would you
Oh,
say?
yeah.
Yeah, we've got, if you went down there right now, you'd see line item number 6 is complete as well. There's about another 30,000 pounds of deck steel in place right now.
Yeah, they're getting ready to pour the deck.
Our-
It's really coming along nicely.
We're gonna get
Really
poured
good.
before the heat comes back.
Thursday
Oh,
is
that'll be
our-
pretty decent.
planned deck pour day, so Thursday morning will be
So that,
out on site.
completion percentage of 62 is pretty accurate then.
Yes, yeah, we're probably higher than that right
Yeah, I
now.
was gonna say
I'd say
probably
we're
going-
probably about 68 to 69% right now.
Excellent,
So
excellent.
Yep.
Well, with all that sounding good, I'd make a motion that we approve pay voucher number 4. To Dixon Construction, and on that set amount, $153,729.48.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, motion carries. All right. Anything else for us then?
Not really. We are finishing up Kentucky Avenue, south of 150th Street, the regrading project. That Tom's guys have been doing.
How's that coming along?
Looks really
Want
nice.
to get out there?
When I was out there Thursday, the work that they're doing is really nice.
And then they, pulling up material,
Mhm.
putting it on the road, building up the road.
Building up the
Cleaning
roadway.
the right of ways.
If you guys remember Kentucky at all, basically it was level full. The ditches were the same height as the road and all of it was the same height as the field. So we're pulling the material out of the ditches, putting it up on the road and bringing the road grade up, probably 2 feet higher than everything else. Plan is to meet with property owners today to discuss where they had driveways before.
They want them there again.
Yep, they want them there again. It's just something that the county's been doing as part of the project. We've been eating the cost of the driveway pipes to make sure that they've got access into their field.
Because they're not requesting it, it's our.
It's because of our doings. Yep.
If they want to move a driveway to a applicable other location, then
Mhm.
it's a good time to do it.
Yep.
You can get rid of 3 small ones. and
Yeah,
put one big
sometimes
one.
it's nice. getting
Which is
it.
what we did for Mike Coleman down on 260th Street. He had 4 smaller driveways that we removed. I think we're putting in 2 or 3 decent driveways in the location that he wants, so.
Oh, good.
Are we planning to raise the road up by Alice Small House too? Up there north?
Yes.
Between the barn. Okay.
Yep, so that's the next roadway, road grading equipment is moving from Kentucky over to Maha's.
Yeah, because that road quite often sits underwater even for
Yeah,
extended
Which-
lengths of time.
we won't be able to fix all of that just because of the nature of
It's a pond.
the topography up there. But we're gonna try and build the road itself up another foot or 2, so maybe it doesn't stay underwater quite as long when it does go underwater. But yeah, that's where the sheep's foot and the water truck should be heading to today if it hasn't already moved. So,
So I assume then all of everybody's moving forward on doing these things, are they? The foreman still have to lead, are they know what they're doing, are they starting to pick up,
the guys are picking up on it without the foreman
Being-
having to.
told this,
Tell
this
them.
and this?
The foremen are doing a really good job of coming back in, pulling a tape, making sure that we're getting the right top width. But this is predominantly led by our blade operators.
Good.
So they're the ones that went through the class and the training and they're showing off what they learned last year, I guess, right now, but.
That's good.
So Humboldt did a stretch of road, Bode did a stretch of road, Hardy's gonna do a stretch, and then our plan is to bring it back to Humboldt to do that 1/2 mile stretch of Birch Avenue and 210th Street that was partially done last fall and then left. So
Okay.
we've been trying to fix the road up in preparation for that, so. Yeah, beyond that, we got some trees to trim. And a lot of farm entrances have been
Yeah.
coming in. So,
How's Sheldon Park Road, we haven't noticed any with the heat?
yeah, we haven't had, I haven't driven on it, I guess, since the summer's been going. I drove on it last month and it looked nice, still rode nice. Hopefully we don't have to touch that for a few years.
I hope so.
Liam bikes it every day. He said it's really good.
Does he?
Loves it.
Like I said, I haven't heard any complaints, so I assume everybody likes what's out there.
You were down last week in Des Moines and we had lunch there. And you had a group of engineers with you, and any hot topics that you guys listened to
There is, some language in the all systems permit that legislation's recently changed. That was a hot topic item. Basically by 2025, all farm to market routes will be approved, whether or not
The
counties
county
want them
steps
to
up.
or not. You know, unless you can come back and give a specific reason that it should not be approved, like a load rated bridge or a seal coated road. Otherwise, every paved farm to market route will be approved. So we're still in the
Kinda figured
process.
as much.
Yeah, we're still in the process. We've got, I don't know, 10, 15 bridges on paved routes that still need to be evaluated. Otherwise, we'll have all of our market routes on there.
What was the language, Sandy, that they talked about from one date to the next that they wouldn't? They were sending back to the, was it to the DOT or to the governor?
Yeah, but it's,
It'll never,
no, it'll
they'll
never,
never
and that's
get
what they
it
talked
slowed
about, yeah,
down.
they wanted a line item change something or whatever, and that's not gonna, she's not gonna do that.
When the governor opens it up to 90,000
Yep,
through the fall harvest,
right,
then they wanted to, from the fall harvest through the spring,
correct,
in order to help protect our gravel roads and our,
Embargo it or?
no, they just wanted to say that the 90,000 or up to 96 would not cut it, because we can't, most of our
Roads
secondary
can handle it.
roads are
Right.
subject anyway, and if we just, like you said, let them have them all, we're gonna have a mess.
Yeah.
We're gonna, he said, it's like, if you squish out that rock,
right.
our base is gone, and then we can't do anything.
Yeah,
So they were talking, and I forgot, I should have wrote, I didn't write the date down that they changed in that language, but
Yeah,
it was, everybody agreed, but I don't know the language.
you know, what I had heard at one time was this all systems permit was an idea so that they didn't have to do a governor's proclamation every year for harvest, that this was more or less gonna force the farmers to purchase the all systems permit to get access to all the extra grain. Now, I don't know that that's the direction that she's gonna go this year, but that was the rumor during one of our meetings. I mean, from the few farmers that I've talked to, they're getting the all systems permit as an insurance. you
Just in
know,
case I go
Just
over.
in, just in case they accidentally overloaded that
Yeah.
90,000, they've got an extra 6,000 pounds to
Mhm.
cover them, so.
The last time I got pulled over by a DOT officer, he checked my weight ticket, and I was 89,000.
Mhm.
And then he said, well, aren't you gonna do the permit? I said, no, I got enough problems keeping the tires on it when I'm only putting 90,000 on it.
Yeah.
Put another 6,000 pounds on, then you're just doing
And then
more
it's
damage.
stress on
Yeah.
your vehicle.
And he says, well, you know, you can get a permit. It's like he was,
He was pushing it.
Oh,
pushing
yeah.
it.
Is
And then when I
it
cut the-
more of a money grab thing, yeah?
No, it was, he was
To an
just
extent.
saying,
Yeah,
It's
To an
revenue.
extent,
well,
I think
it's
it's a money
500
grab
bucks, is it a yearly,
Yeah.
or is that
every year.
every
Yep.
year, $500, but we
Sure.
don't get enough, and that's what they were talking about, that hot topic, or I don't think
Yeah.
that day was a hot topic
must
day.
have been Friday.
they collect
That-
the money and we get the bill.
We
So
get
we get-
really nothing, it's another one of those, what they call unmanned, or unfunded mandate.
We get 75% of that. 75% of that $500 gets deposited into the secondary road fund and then gets dispersed
And
throughout.
it's dispersed
throughout-
back
So we do
to the
get some of
county.
it back.
Yes, so through the, however many counties are signed up to it, those are the ones that get it divvied back to them. Eventually, it'll be all 99 right now. I don't know what the actual number is, probably half that have opted in to some extent. So whatever funding comes in gets divvied out between 45, 50 states.
But you know, they're gonna probably change that to what is most traveled and things like that, so they'll get more of the funds.
But it still doesn't pencil out.
No,
I
it doesn't
mean,
pencil, but I mean, that's how they'll end up doing it, they'll go by most traveled,
They'll figure out a way.
yeah.
The larger
The,
counties will
the
get more.
same,
Yeah.
the same way they want to get rid of local option sales tax
Yep,
and
That was
just
talked about too.
impose an additional penny tax on everything.
Cause they
And
wanna
then-
control it.
And then they'll roll it down to Des Moines, and the first thing they're gonna fund is the DNR Clean Water Act that they
Yeah.
haven't
Yep.
figured out how to fund.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy, that's
And
been on the
then-
books for how long?
At least a
Yeah.
decade.
Yeah, at least a decade.
And then,
Then they'll divvy the rest.
and then they'll divvy it out how they see fit, they said,
I know.
so.
Well, that's all in there.
Yeah.
So I take it we're gonna wait till after the meeting to talk about our other fun project that Ben's been involved
Just
in.
the building, just a work session. I wanna get on the same page as you guys.
Okay, I think you are.
All right, thank
All
you.
right,
Okay.
talk to you then, like Ben.
Right. Okay. So the next thing we will do is accept the retirement / resignation of Kenneth Borland, medical death investigator. And there's a letter.
Yeah, I read-
Yeah.
Read through Kenny's letter. It was actually a well-written letter,
Mhm.
but due to the fact that he's retiring. And he was advised that he needs to retire from all IFRS related activities, and he needs to retire as the assistant medical death investigator, so I guess it makes sense. We appreciate the fact that he did that, as well as being the deputy sheriff for this number of years. But I can see that that's the thing he has to do, so I would make a motion that we accept that retirement resignation from Kenneth Borland as a medical death investigator. I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous, it carries. Okay, accept and place on file. MMP short forms, annual updates for Lake 10 finisher number 64403 and Thompson Acres Inc. number 58588. And Thompson Acres number 60963.
Okay, I'll make the motion to accept and place on file the management plans for these facilities.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, motion carries. Okay.
That was another thing that, I don't wanna keep bringing up Des Moines, but while I remembered that, they did talk about the plant master matrix and how sadly it needs to be updated,
Yes.
and that was one of the top things that they are going to push for is some type of change to get some more input into some of these, so.
Give it back to county control, get it rid of the state control.
They were talking about local control and state control at the meeting too, and. Yeah,
I
that,
don't think that'll ever happen.
no.
They tied our hands on it, so.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Too that way too long, unfortunately.
Okay, approve the 2023 new homestead and military applications and cancellations. We need to get
Down on that.
Oh, yeah, we can skip down that. Okay, discussion action on September 4th. 2023 Labor Day board meeting, so
Well,
it won't be a claims day.
no, that's obviously a week from today, believe it
Yep.
or not, it's Labor Day. We did cover the claims. I think that I would make the motion that we, unless something unforeseen, unknown today comes up, we do not have a board meeting next week in light of the Labor Day holiday.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to not have a meeting on September 4th, Labor Day. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimously carries, okay. All right, committee reports.
Hmm. On Wednesday, the 23rd, I was down at the Midas meeting with Todd. And that's the only official meeting I had.
I had no official extra curricular meetings last week.
I had none either.
I went Thursday down to Des Moines and spent the day down there for the ISAC meeting, so that was what I did.
Okay, Tuesday, I went down to Des Moines as we had an ISAC educational meeting to plan for the fall meeting and also, the one in February, our annual supervisors. And then, of course, I was down there for the rest of the week. Several things, that were brought up. I think one of the best parts that we did was actually on Friday, we had hot topics. And, it was 2 hours of all the different counties getting together and talking about what were the issues, and pretty much we all had the same thing. You know, and then we went over the legislative Thursday, what our objectives are, and eminent domain is a huge thing, of course, that ISAC is against, and I haven't heard one county yet that wants to have eminent domain. I mean.
For private companies.
For private companies, right. I mean, it's just ridiculous, honestly, that the governor is even for it. Nobody can believe it that she's for it. And then, of course, juvenile detention is the second legislative objective. We want to increase the number of beds. And then also 50% reimbursement from the state for bed days for Iowa kids. Evidently, there's a lot of out-of-state kids. I did not realize, did you know that? A lot of out-of-state, I did not realize
Well, we
that.
house a lot of houses.
They were saying there's quite a few.
Especially the ones around the edge of the
Yeah.
state, like Waterloo and.
Closer to the border.
Closer to the border that they can bring back and forth.
Oh, okay.
Do they pay more like out-of-state tuition?
I don't know.
I don't, and that's the thing that we want to get changed, because they don't, they all pay about the same. The counties are paying 91% of the cost of this service. And so we want to get it, the states, we would like to see the state actually pick up 50% of it, because it is costing some counties, it's blowing their budget. And they just don't have basically the funds for it. Medicaid funding is another, so we picked 4 objectives, and Medicaid funding was the other one. Providing sufficient state funding to reimburse hospitals and nursing homes for Medicaid coverage. I did an interview for NPR on Tuesday also regarding nursing home closures. We had 2 here in town, and then 2 in Fort Dodge, plus now Pocahontas, and of course that affected my mother and my uncle. So we were finding basically 2 placements. And if anybody can listen to it, it is really a good one. And one of the guys said isn't necessarily a Medicaid problem. The problem is that there's so many places that are getting Medicaid, but their services are below average. And so we need to penalize the ones whose services are below average. But that's a double-edged sword, as I was hearing that, because if you penalize them with their Medicaid, then they're gonna get worse. They're gonna get worse. And that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, oh God, I agree
They're
that
not
we need,
going in and helping them, you're making them worse.
we need to hold these people accountable. It's just like QHC, the North Care and South Care, that there were the first owners before they sold it to Blue Mountain. They had $4 million in funds, thank you, fines, and they never paid it. And they would just as soon pay the fines. I can't remember this other guy's name that was interviewed on it. They would just soon pay the fines than to actually correct the problem. So that's where another of the big issues is. But Charity Nebby did the interview, and she did a very good job. It was very good. But anyway, enough of that. But that's one of our things, we've got to get Medicaid, especially for our rural hospitals. We're doing fairly well here in Humboldt, but there's other ones that are not doing so well. And then Ben's favorite thing, Iowa natural resources and quantity. That's the other thing that's on the thing, and it's basically the funding of it and trying to get it to go. Of course, there's a lot of policy statements that we're still being in charge of it. And the big thing is, and I guess this is what I want to come back and say, is we've gotta get our constituents and us after our legislators. There are so many things that were passed this last session that hurt rural Iowa. And if all the rural legislators would have stuck up and actually voted what was best for their areas, I would say most of these things would not have passed. And so we've really got to get our people harping on our legislators to, what are you doing? And to keep at, and that's the big thing. So many people are getting more and more complacent with politics, and I know politics are so divisive right now, but somehow we've got to get people vested.
There's a little difference between the decisiveness and the other things that we're all familiar with.
Right,
Then you make a very good point of it's always the voters. I mean, the
Right.
local citizenship,
yep,
they cannot be complacent.
right,
They don't have to be activists.
right,
But they have to be active.
active,
And if
correct.
they do need to contact.
Right,
the- you know,
call,
we have-
right,
We
email,
have
whatever.
senators and representatives,
Mhm.
everybody in the state does.
Mhm,
And yeah, like you said, what are these rural folks? And most of the state is still rural.
rural.
What are they doing? And I know you've mentioned before, they seem to be just going status quo and along
yeah.
with whatever they're coming up with down there in Des Moines, and
Right.
it's
Well,
not.
they got what they call the trifecta. And
Yeah,
it's
that's
just-
fine, to a
yeah.
point, but that doesn't mean that you have to discount still the
Yeah,
75% of the state that is like us,
Rural,
that's
yeah, Mm-hmm.
small rural communities and areas.
and everybody's having problems with it. I mean, the new property tax thing is an issue.
But, you know, if you
And
take,
that's never gonna change, because they just passed it last year, so it's gonna be
yeah, we have to deal with
the whole
that.
thing, and I
They have
can't
for a
remember
long
who it
time.
was brought this up. They were talking about how things change in the, it's that gal that was, from Linda from, Story County. She was a
Oh.
state legislator. I can't think of her last name, Linda, but anyway, she said that the, legislators are not patient. They're not willing to wait to see what one bill, when it's passed, to
The
give it a
effects of
few
it.
years to see what and I thought that makes perfect sense. They keep pounding, and from what I understand, what Jamie and Lucas said down there at ISAC, the property tax, they've just started on. They're gonna work on it even more. So who knows what, and I asked him, I said, well, what does that mean? He goes, that's what we'd all like to know.
they probably don't know.
But they said that's one of their agendas. The legislators' agenda is property taxes. And they're gonna work on that to get that more in line. But again, that's great to get that all in line, but we still have services that we have to
Hmm.
be able to provide. And if the state isn't gonna help with the funding, again, unfunded mandates, what are we gonna do? Okay, so my soapbox, I gotta stop that, but anyway. It was, other than the keynote speaker, which wasn't,
Sorry, you have to
His-
go up for that one.
he was very good. He was
For a
very
short
good,
time.
I got my neck worked out trying.
I know.
Keep your head up.
He was very good on Wednesday. God, he was good. I wish we would have done something different for Wednesday and Thursday for the and had him just do what he did on Thursday. So that's us education committees. But one thing that he did bring up that was really good that we need to think about is, again, what we talked about, making micro changes. Don't make big changes in the county. And that's what the state seems to be doing. They're making these huge, big changes, and then we all have to fall in line. But we all got to start thinking about, if we make changes, we need to make micro changes and wait to see what the effect is. The other thing is young people, getting them more involved. It's about making things more user-friendly, like our website should be more mobile. He asked me how many of us can get on our, and I did try it. It isn't as friendly as if, when you're on a computer. So, we need to be thinking about those things. Just picking up on conversations and working with people that way. We need to be listening more instead of always yakking more. And what am I doing? I'm yakking. But
We got it. Thank you.
so there's just a lot of good things that were talked about at this meeting. And again, I just want to encourage everybody to attend the ISAC meetings, because they are just a wealth of information. Talked about drainage. I did not realize, I always thought it was the northern tier, the Northwest. It is all the way down the Missouri
In
Mills,
Missouri, the drainage there is
Yep.
levee systems.
right,
Yeah.
and Mills
Yeah.
County,
Yeah.
Mills County is having a heck of a time with their drainage. And cause I don't even know how because I was with the Mills County auditor and I can't remember who other, we were sitting there talking and we were talking about, and then that's when they said they were having issues and that they can't get their gals trained either. There isn't enough. The laws are so old, so I'm gonna work on getting that to be one of the things at the ISAC meeting. So now that I know that it's not I mean, cause before they all said, oh, it's just,
You guys have.
Northwest,
Yeah.
and it's not, it's all and I didn't realize that. I should have
Yeah.
thought about it.
I mean, up here, we try to get rid of the water. Down there, they try to keep the water out.
Right,
Yeah.
Right.
With the levee systems.
Right.
The levee systems down there are really old and
yes, yep, yep. Okay, so
just
that's
like our drainage here.
all I have.
Thanks, man.
Okay, so. Well, hello, how are you doing, Jill? Good,
Do
good.
you want us to come up?
Yes.
Sure,
Come
please.
on up.
All right.
I know it, I hear that out there.
Good morning.
How are you?
Morning.
North
I
still mad at
just-
you, but I'm not gonna talk to you.
Okay, I'm Jill Conlon and I am the administrator for Pocahontas County Public Health. And I just wanted to introduce Keen Brown. He is our new environmental health for Pocahontas and Humboldt County. So I thought bring him over so you guys can meet him. So if you have any questions or anything for us,
So did you have a lot of applications?
we only had 2.
Okay,
Yes,
And it's still running in the paper.
it is. They were told to, okay, thank you, because I don't get the Humboldt paper. It's not in the Pokey anymore. So, okay, we'll make sure, because I'm paying for that. That gets expensive. Yeah. Okay,
Actually, I had a phone call on Friday about that.
about that?
And a
Okay.
Lady called and she just wanted to know if she could come in and put an application for it.
Okay, okay.
After the
I
call, I
did,
was like,
And you took.
nope.
yeah, so,
Got her covered. I got her covered.
So what, background do you come from?
Well, I worked for Webster County for 13 years. I was actually a maintainer operator.
Webster County?
Yeah.
Okay,
So then before that, I was owner operator for 8 years.
okay.
So
You thought environmental health looked like
but yeah,
a fun new career.
something different.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's been working at Valero and they're down there helping.
Yeah, well. So I got in trouble no reason for me to beat around the bush. I got in trouble last fall for OWI. And they put me on a Valero for 6 months, I guess. I was down there for 6 months and it wasn't my cup of tea. And I thought I was gonna get back on Webster County, and HR guy I had a good relationship with the engineer, but HR didn't think that I deserved a second chance. So even after working there for 13, 14 years, he didn't think I deserved a second chance, which I don't even know. He was a new guy for Webster County. I didn't even know who the guy was really. I met him like once, talked to him like twice. And so I never even knew him.
oh, Ted's not there anymore?
Yeah, he's still there, but you don't ever see him. He never comes out to visit, or we just don't know who he is.
Mhm.
You know, when I worked there 10 years first time, and I thought I had to go back on the road as an owner operator a second time. And then I did that for 3.5 years, and then all of a sudden, one of the supervisors called me up, so they're gonna take the applications in, and said, you gotta consider coming back. Then one of my old boss, or my foreman called me and said the same thing, and said, you ought to come back. So I said, you know what? Going back on the road after taking 10 years off and going back on the road, finding out how much the traffic had changed and everybody's on their devices and everything else. I said, I think I'll do that. So I got back on. So Valero put me on while I was off work for 3 months. Valero put me on, and it wasn't for me.
12-hour shifts is a
No, that's.
thing to get used to.
Well, it wasn't so much that,
That and
it just,
the people.
the people are just, Everybody's so grumpy all the time around there. Get out of there.
I know.
He always-
I thought it was just the guys hauling stuff down there.
But I would tell you this, if, Ben, if we need anybody to run a loader, you tell him to load 58,000 and he talks to you on the radio, that's about 57.7. And by God, you pull over on the scale and you're 57.7.
So will you have to, with this new job, it's kind of a lot of different facets to this,
Mhm.
go through some training and classes and certifications and
Yeah.
such.
Yes.
It's a whole new ballgame for him.
Yeah.
as well.
And he has started some of those trainings and we've got him signed up. I reached out to Amy Devereaux down at DMAC.
Okay. that
And
makes sense.
yes, and so she's got us lined up with some classes and that, so, yep.
Okay.
And then we contracted with Kim Johnson. She is the retired environmental health person from Buena Vista County. She retired in March.
Okay.
And so I happen to know her. She's from my town.
Okay.
And so she
I
agreed.
saw that in an email.
Yes.
a while back. So she is still helping out.
Yes, yep,
She's
we
helping
have her,
you.
we hired her as a part-time temporary employee
Okay.
up to 3 months.
Okay.
So yes, so
Well,
she
would
comes,
be
she's awesome.
a good resource.
Yes, she is.
too, Along with any technical
Yes.
formal training.
And so she's been coming about 2 times a week at least, 2 to
Mm-hmm.
3, plus taking phone calls from you. But she's been
Taking a few
taking
of
him
them.
out and doing septic inspections. And last week you did water testing. And so
Mhm.
today you're on your own doing your water testing.
Yeah.
Because we had about 20 on a list that we've been putting on a wait list that had been calling since Nate left. And so so she took him out, Kim took him out last week.
Mhm.
And
Last Wednesday.
yep, so now you're on your own. So yeah.
So a little on the job training with someone that, I'm
Yeah.
guessing that Kim has done this for a number of years.
Yeah, 26 years.
26.
So
26,
that's always
yeah.
a good person.
Yeah.
Right.
Very good resource.
Yeah. And she also kind of helped out when Nate
Yep.
got hired too. She helped him. And then also Nate traveled like to Clay County and Calhoun County, and those environmental help helped him too. So I feel we're fortunate that way to get it right in our counties. So she can
Excellent.
take him out. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, well.
Do I need to
welcome
get
aboard.
his email also? then?
you can, yes. It's K Brown at Pocahontas County, all written out. .iowa, and Iowa's written out, .gov.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
familiar. Right, a really long email.
Yes, it is, yes.
But it's secure and safe.
Keaton, good luck with getting up to speed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm glad Kim is still helping and she's a great
Yep.
resource and good luck with
Yep.
your
Thank
schooling and certification.
I did visit with somebody who's had one done recently and they sound like it went fairly well
Good.
through this transition
Good.
period, so,
Okay, did they use another county? Or was it Keene?
no, it was you guys.
It was us. Okay, great, great, okay. Because before from the time Nate left until Keene came, then we did reach out to like Sandy McGrath in Wright County
Mhm.
and Tammy McKeever in Clay and Shelley Sachel from Calhoun.
Yeah.
They helped with like inspections and stuff like that. So that was helpful. I appreciate that.
Yep, it was.
Yeah.
So is his phone number the same as Nate's was?
4142, or do you want his cell? Do you know your cell offhand?
This one's,
Your work cell?
515-890. Let me double check here.
I know, I don't know my work one either. It's terrible.
I put it under my name, so
So you knew it.
I know it. 890-3067.
3067.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the same though, but yes. Okay. Cause we just gave you Nate's phone.
Yeah, they just.
Yeah.
names on them, so.
Okay.
All right, I'll leave.
But yeah, give us a call if you need anything. I just thought it was a good time
Yeah,
since
thank you for.
Yeah.
so I haven't come over and met you guys either, so.
How long have you
so-
been there?
Well, I took Ann Thompson's
Yeah.
place, so I was, it was a year in April.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Come over
Yeah.
more often.
Okay, I will,
Both
yeah,
of you.
yes, no problem.
Oh, yeah, that would be
He'll be
great.
coming to the Humboldt.
Yeah.
He will,
Good
be,
luck.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Getting up
Are you
to
on
speed.
that?
So my
Dates,
wife
okay,
says I
yes,
hold the
okay.
grudge a long time, so I'll just
Okay,
try my best to talk to you.
Your wife would know best.
No, I I'm glad you're here. I told you that the other day when you told me you were coming.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm happy you're filling that job for us, but kind of mad that you left. Us hanging down there. Now I just wander around looking for, can somebody load us, please?
Yeah, nobody will pay attention,
Oh
will
my
they?
God, it's just like walking around with a bunch of people. I can't do that. I'm not, I know you're not qualified. but we do it. I sat there the other day, 45 minutes. I was the number one guy.
The other young kid they hired well, before me to do the ethanol, he can't operate machinery. He doesn't, he's 20 years old, he does a lot of,
I don't want them near my truck. If they can.
Yeah.
and he won't try it, and they won't tell me he has to do anything any different, so, and he's quit, and he's done on Friday. Well, and then Crystal, she put her notice in too, she's done in 2 weeks.
It'll be all new people.
Yeah.
Three people
Right,
later
down
in
you
the
go. Well, welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, good
Thanks,
luck.
guys. Okay.
Well, yeah, seriously,
Yeah,
come over.
okay,
more often.
we will
Maybe
do that.
At least yearly.
Okay,
At
at least
least
yearly,
one.
okay,
Come more often if you'd like.
okay,
Yeah.
sounds good,
All right.
but call if
When
you
you
need
share
me
this,
to, and
you know,
yeah,
we have
yes,
this agreement, and
that is correct,
it's really
yep,
nice to see the people you're working with.
Yeah.
We appreciate
yeah.
it.
So no problem.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Yeah,
Okay,
good luck. Thank
yeah,
you
yeah.
for coming over.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, do you want me to grab the?
Yes.
Yep. It's all we got left.
Yep.
They know that stuff with the payload
Well,
or what?
see, when the silo gets so full and they're loading train cars at night,
Oh, yes.
and then it'll spit into a building or a flat. And then after it cools for a day or two, then they'll
Yeah, like.
make us back in the building and they dump it over the side.
Oh, really?
When it's hotter than hell out.
Yeah.
When you dump that stuff into the payload, it just.
Oh, I'm sure
You
it's
don't like
like
loading,
heat.
but he would take.
First, I thought it was like
dump
step
it.
one,
Yeah.
after, yeah.
Yeah.
Like. first-
Really, it was-
And that's what I was thinking, I'm like,
You are.
Came around.
Oh, I just do-
and I'm like impressed for his age that his parents were that, you know, that's a fairly unusual, you know what I mean? It's kind of a,
Like,
yeah.
really screwed up. But
Well, maybe you should practice loading with the payload or.
I don't want anything to do
No.
with 12-hour shifts.
I know. They can't get these.
And they can't get, you know, same way when you're. Do the cargill, they can't get people to do the night shift. They're running skeleton crew at night.
I'm sure.
And terrible.
Affects everything.
So here we are again.
Yeah.
I feel like we just did this.
I
I
know,
know, it's come around awful quick.
it does. I agree.
Is it the same time every year?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Mhm. We had more to do this year.
I see that.
Mhm.
You said that last year too.
Those books behind you are all the new 65+.
Wow,
Well, that doesn't really surprise me in this county.
they talked about that at, ISAC too, how much
Yeah.
money everybody's losing.
It's like 850. Something like that.
1,000.
And then we've had some
When you say 850, what?
65+. That's
That's the
signed up,
number of people in our county? Or
That-
dollars?
that signed up, people, mhm, that
People.
will have that credit. And then we've had,
I wish that was 65.
Be careful when you wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, we're.
Oh, but-
how's it going? Yeah. Bad.
so that's, and a lot of these, I guess, Jana said they didn't even have a regular homestead,
Oh, so
Really?
then they found out they applied for the other one.
Wow.
Right.
That's good.
Wow,
Brought their
Some of
attention to
them.
that.
yeah,
wow.
so,
So you get both, correct?
correct,
Oh,
You get the regular homestead plus your 65+ homestead.
right. This year, it's, or the first year will be the extra 3250, I think it is, and then it goes
bumped
up.
to 65, isn't it?
Yep. And veterans automatically, every veteran, and I don't know how many are signed up, go from 1850 to 4,000. So there'll be an increase there too. So, let's see. disabled vet homestead. Have any new ones? I think we had a few new ones this year, but yeah. We have one that when it was submitted, it was submitted under currently permanent disability, but probably will be an improvement. So we tagged it and we'll have to check next year to see if they're still at the 100% disability, so.
Cause what is 100% disability? That means no property tax then?
Correct.
That's what I thought.
Mhm,
Okay.
and that's determined by the vets association or whatever it is, I guess.
Mhm.
We get the paperwork and if it says 100%, then
And does it also get that at a certain age? Or is it 100%?
No, I don't think so.
there's not an age to it.
Oh, okay.
But then remember, all the veterans exemptions went automatically. You got severe PTSD, you're 100%.
Right, and this is not a military credit, it's a homestead credit,
It's a homestead, right?
yeah.
So it comes off the valuation.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
Don't you have
the entire thing.
Someday I should have, I think you
We
should.
use our
So I have a few to go over.
tax.
Not
This
necessarily
one.
everything else.
Sandy, you want me to start with you or you want me to go this way?
I don't care. Either way, it doesn't matter.
We would like,
I'm closer to
we would
you,
like you to
so-
start and end with Sandy. Why don't you start and end with her right there?
Well, this particular one is, in 2009, I think, we, disallowed it. And then he contacted us and said he lived there and so on and so forth. So we put it back. So this year, we disallowed it again and, because he also has a homestead in Wright County. And has had a homestead in Wright County for years, as well as here. And you're not supposed
Not
to,
allowed to do it in two
No.
separate locations. You either gotta live one where a place.
Right. supposedly in Wright County, they're canceling it over there. We're canceling it here also. And this is also the 65,
So would he just have to reapply at one and the other to get it reinstated
yeah,
for one?
yeah.
Gotta make
Um,
a decision where he lives. spends most of his
here,
time.
For Humboldt City Hall, there has been zero water usage for almost a year. Water bills get mailed to a different address. I think it's a different address in here and or Clarion. So, and he also has a military. We left that. You're to live in the state of Iowa to qualify. And I'm not so sure one of the addresses we've seen is not in another state, but we'll deal with that another time. I would assume he'll probably contact us or Wright County, but oh, there it goes. I'll let-
So besides the fact that them applying for that, you guys have to be, aren't almost a part-time detective.
That's,
see.
yeah, yeah.
So do you check with every county around us on a situation like this?
Mhm.
Wow.
A lot
I
of
didn't realize
times,
that.
if somebody signs a new homestead from another county, we will contact that county and tell them, and vice versa anymore, so. If they say they come from Humboldt County and they sign up in Cassuth, they'll send us an email that this person signed up, so we can be sure and cancel it here.
So they can only have one,
Correct,
Well, that's
Period.
it.
Mhm.
Instead.
you can't have one in each county, just one here.
just one.
Hmm.
Yep. This one, these two are married. Let's see, how do I want to address this? And they both have a house. And they're claiming a homestead in each house.
They're married, but they have 2 houses.
correct,
And they're claiming both houses.
correct. Um. The one house, very little to no water usage each month. But the water is paid and the water is on. So the city can't confirm whether they live there or they don't. I think you'll be able to figure out who it is there.
It's I mean, you get notified, like, is there power to the houses and stuff like that, electricity?
Yeah, we call City Hall and, like for the water and, check that way. And if need be, then we follow up with some other entity, but, I don't know. That's whatever you think, I guess. See, this one, and there is another one in the stack that's similar. This to me just, it kind of like, it just doesn't seem right, but I guess it's the law. They had their house burned down. And they're currently in the process of building a new one, so living elsewhere. So nobody's living there, so we have to cancel the homestead until they
Get it built.
Mhm. Yeah, it doesn't really kind of seem quite right, but I guess
suppose
it,
that's the law. And that's
Yeah.
what you gotta do.
yeah. So I guess,
So, dumb question. Taxes on a house that's burnt down. Does it go to just the lot cost?
no. Like in this particular case, we will take that house off the assessment for 1/1/24. So I think it burned in 23.
Yep, and they're building it back.
Right, and then we will pick up what's there January 1st of 24 on the new house.
Oh, so they don't really pay taxes for that 1 year, technically.
Yeah,
So
they
if you took
do.
it off,
I mean, it'll come off for 24, but they'll have taxes through the 23 assessment.
yes, I realize that,
Yeah.
but they're not being taxed for that 1 year while their house is not there.
Right, we take the burnt one off and then start
Over.
adding, yeah. So. These are new applications.
So if that house isn't completed by January 24, you only assess for what is completed,
Right,
correct?
yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, we have a schedule we go by on how much is there and what percent is built and that sort of thing, so. New ones.
Means it isn't completed, they can't say they're living there, so they don't get the exemption.
Correct, yeah.
Okay,
Well, and you know, sometimes they will live in it when
Yeah.
it's, and if they are, that's fine, well. But there has to be I think a value there to get the homestead. Okay, we got 167 new homesteads here.
Should we deal with these here first before we move on?
Yeah, if you'd like to,
Rather than.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of
Oh,
stuff going
okay.
on there.
all right,
Cause we had 3 that we
that,
basically discussed.
right. And you canceled those, right?
we haven't done any, we're looking to you.
Well, the
Well, it
first,
says here
the
approved.
first one with Wright, where they have one in Wright and Humboldt,
Mhm.
there's no water usage. I would say nobody's living there,
Right.
Right.
so I would
Okay,
say that one.
that's,
Do we make a
Cancel
motion
that.
on that
Cancel
or
that.
not, or do we have to make motions on that?
Separately.
well, maybe since I brought them up separately.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay, I'll make a motion for the cancellation of the one that has no water usage, whether he's in Wright County and Humboldt.
No second.
okay, we have a motion and a second, all those in favor?
I,
Okay.
And that was for homestead and,
The military, we left,
okay,
so we're assuming he still lives in the state of Iowa. So he could still have the military there.
So the number
You can have a
two one,
military exemption without living in a house.
Yes,
As long as you're a citizen of Iowa.
right.
Okay,
so the number two
How
one.
many houses can you have that
Married.
exemption on? They
they
have
have
two
two
houses.
The other
houses,
one's
but
the
are we canceling
homestead.
Both or we,
Homestead is
Water on them.
where you live there.
You can't make people live together. even if
It's
they're
just a military credit for veterans. Exemption probably.
I mean, if they're living in both, you pretty much have to, don't you? The one where they're married. I mean,
I don't-
they're
how do you
living in
want that
both
worded,
houses,
Linda, for the one that have two houses?
married.
We canceling both, or are you canceling one, or how are you wanting it done?
All we know is there was very little water usage in the house that we feel probably isn't lived in, but,
The water is on.
So,
That's the one that divorced and living separate, or married and living separate.
I,
Don't really know.
Possible, we don't know.
Yeah.
They're married, but they own two houses.
Well, you can only get
and
the
then
both exemption these on one. houses are in both names.
no, I don't believe so.
One was in one name and one was in the other name.
Yeah.
Well, then I could think we should allow that.
Okay,
Yeah,
And they're in two different names.
Yeah.
I noticed that one was, yeah.
okay.
I know the couple and, yeah, they both live separately. Most of the time.
Okay. I'll make a motion to allow
Okay.
that one.
Okay, we have a
That's
motion,
what-
we have a second.
I'll say.
We have a
Nice.
Motion and a second to allow the two houses that are married and they're in two separate names. All those in favor?
I,
Okay, unanimous motion carries. Okay,
then we push the one that was burned. So that will be dropped, then reapplied for when their new house is done. Is that how you want it?
They probably should, yes. Reapply.
I'll make that motion to take it off and then reapply when their house is completed.
we have a motion on that one.
I'll second.
We have a second. All those in favor?
I,
Okay, unanimous motion carries.
I have a couple more
Okay,
that are,
Interesting.
interesting, yes.
I would have to tell you 7 or 8 years, but I've done this is the most interesting.
I know it, I don't remember having this many,
This one.
spit it out, Linda.
Just trying to do it vertically.
He had the
Live
homestead,
it, please.
right, had the homestead, and then he changed the ownership into an LLC. And an LLC cannot have a homestead
Right,
if it's a urban LLC. I mean, like, if it's a family farm type of
Then it
thing,
can be.
then they can't, but this one is not. So that one,
Well, it's pretty evident that.
Sounds like we don't even need to make a motion
Right.
on the law.
That
The
was-
law.
Okay.
you can't put
Follow along.
LLC.
Yeah.
so it's just a couple here, then that, this one.
You don't live there, how can he get
Yeah,
homestead?
he does.
Yeah, he
Does
does.
he live in that one now?
He
Uh-huh.
sold his house by us.
Okay.
This one, the property's on a sheriff's sale, water shut off. I guess we're gonna leave the military. I don't think we even have a forwarding address. We
Are they
can't,
living there?
mm-mm.
Then drop it all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
that-
sheriff's
Oh,
sale.
Okay. And lives elsewhere. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't find him anywhere.
Yeah, I'd drop everything on that one. I'll make
Yeah.
that motion.
The military too?
Yep,
You think he's out of state?
Yes.
I don't know. Good.
Okay, okay,
I'd drop it all.
I'd second the motion on that.
okay.
If he went to another county, he probably got homestead or military there, so.
Okay,
Where he's at.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to drop that one for everything, homestead and military. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous, motion carries. Okay,
Let's see, I better make a note of that.
You want the separate one, or you want me to just put it on the pile?
Yeah, you just put it on file. Trish can figure it out.
she's right.
So, yeah,
He's right.
sliding down the hill.
That's why I'm-
Look at those stack of papers.
Must be the stories that are pulling it.
Okay, that's all the cancellations there. They're pretty much,
Is there any question on any of them? Okay.
no, I pulled those.
Okay,
And these,
Homestead and military or just homestead?
I think it's both
Okay.
in there. They might be separate, I'm not sure.
This homestead
Yeah.
and military.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and a lot of these are just transfers from one house to
Yeah, I was
another
gonna
house.
say, if they
Yeah.
change houses, it's just property exchange.
Yeah.
So do you need a motion on that? To go along?
Yeah.
We're doing them all separate.
To,
cancellations.
yeah, cancel them. And
Make a
these,
motion to accept the cancellations and the transfers, is that what they were?
just cancellation.
Cancellations.
Yeah.
They'd have to reapply.
That's, I would say homestead and or military.
And nor military, yes.
I'll second Bruce's motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. So no, you're good. You're good. It carries. Okay.
These are new ones.
Any confusion on them?
No,
That's new military and.
and homestead. Mm-hmm.
And everything looks good and your
Um,
work there. I
mhm.
make a motion that we accept the new application for the homestead and or military application.
Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a
And
second.
those over there are all the new 65 plus. And they look fine to us.
So I don't think we need to, that's just a protocol.
So, okay, as doing that, just as
They're
I'm curious,
military.
how much for the new, how much do you think we've lost in tax revenue with the new law? Just curious.
Well, if there's 850 brand new, 65 plus homesteads, that's a loss of $2.7 million in value.
Value. So what does that equate to for revenue?
Well,
Depending on the tax.
yeah, it depends on the district. I can figure it. You want me to figure
Just
it?
a rough average or whatever you wanna call
See
it.
that?
Is that a good way to put it?
Guesstimate.
Yes, there you go.
You want to do with the rollback or without the rollback? Probably with it.
With,
Humboldt levy is like 30,
Is it 32 or 5?
I don't know. Let's figure it at 30 then. 46,000 in tax.
Oh, I lied.
That's on the low side then. If
Yeah.
most of them are Humboldt, but they're not all Humboldt, so
mhm.
I figured it at $30 a thousand.
Oh, that's a guesstimation.
Yeah.
It's just a,
And then
Gives you a
you-
rough idea.
And
Yeah.
then your militaries, there's new ones. And then all of them will be going from $1,850 exemption to 4,000. So however many militaries you have will be that much loss in value.
So from all the cancellation and all the renewals or new ones, what's the difference? How much money did we lose or gain?
Probably don't have that exact calculation.
No, you mean militaries?
Of all, everything, you got all the cancellations and you got all these new ones.
Yeah,
you take these off, put these on, what's the difference in what we had before to what we will have? How much money did we lose, period?
Well, we lost the 2 million on 65 plus. And with I don't know the number of militaries we have. I'm sure it's quite a few,
But if you
actually.
look at it from the other side. Look what the state is, by adopting that. We're only one county versus all the counties. That's a huge chunk of money that 65 and older, you're holding property.
Right.
So there's
Pulled out of
that,
the
and then
pot.
there's all levy, so there's two ways the state got their fingers. Taking away local control again, and that's the big issue, I mean. That's why the rural residents have got to band together and stop this stuff. Cause we don't have a lot of ways like the urban areas of bringing in, generating more income or, commercial, we're pretty limited. So again,
There's 423 military. As of
In the county or getting assistance or been.
application.
Right now,
mhm,
okay, and we've got 30 new ones this year. So, what, 423? Yeah, let's see. You will lose an extra 968,000 in value on the military.
so it's about almost 300.
Almost 3 million in
Almost
valuation.
3 million
Mhm.
in valuations that we lost. The year.
So,
Yeah, then that computes
But-
to $90,000, roughly approximately 90 to 100,000.
Mhm.
valuation.
Just guessing.
Yeah. That'd be about right. And then
Well, how
plus
does,
our-
explain, so you have the homestead exemption
Mhm.
and the military exemption? Or is it an exemption or? How does that?
See,
How does that?
homestead
Not for the
Credit.
homestead, but.
credit and military is an exemption, and the 65 is an
So
exemption.
they're all exemptions, so they lower. But this is not disabled.
The exemptions, they lower your valuation.
Right,
So how much does the military exemption lower it?
967.
No, but for, as a, each individual case
Oh,
percentage.
well, it would have went, they'll get an extra $2,150.
Exemption,
Mhm,
extra,
correct.
but what, so. They're all the same, so what's their total exemption now then, on the, from the military? side?
4,000.
With the new,
Mhm,
just not disabled, just the military.
correct.
exemption. And the homestead, not over 65, but normal homestead exemption is a percentage.
No, it's,
it's a
$4
dollar
amount.
amount.
42.
it was at 48.50
40, 50,
and still is for,
still is
the-
for
right.
not over 65, and if you're over 65 now, that goes to.
Then you get an extra 32.50 on top of that for the first year, and then it goes to 6,500, another
Additional,
6,500,
additional.
right?
So all of these
And
are
that's
dollar
correct.
amounts taken off of your valuation,
Correct.
so everyone understands that. especially-
Or is the,
Mhm.
I'm so confused, is the 65 might be the
It's
exemption,
an exemption,
so that affects your valuation.
right?
Correct.
The credit is
Dollars coming off your
reimbursed,
valuation.
isn't it? The 48.50,
Yeah, that's the regular homestead.
Mhm, mhm.
and I think the state's still reimbursing them,
Yeah, that's,
but the
So
exemptions,
you're screw up the calculation.
or our own ones,
Close.
yeah.
So there's dollars coming off.
Evaluation.
Mhm.
But if you have a $100,000 home or a $500,000 home, you get the same dollars off of it.
Correct,
Mhm.
It's not a percentage.
Not a dollar.
right.
This is
This
$3
is, you know, it's actually fairly straightforward, but people probably don't quite understand what it is, dollars taken off.
Probably a lot of them don't know.
Okay.
I can't wait to listen to the new news and see how it's.
How
reported.
exciting that is.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what, 10% of, or 8% of the county population for new 65s.
Yeah.
Right there. Around
I never-
1,000.
I did, yeah.
We're 9,006 and
That's
97,
almost-
or just 7?
Yeah.
Well, Sandy,
You're
you're-
7.
I thought actually. it'd be
He's an engineer. Thanks.
Well,
There.
and we've had people sign up after July first that missed the first round, so they're still coming in.
Yeah.
So,
It's a 65 though, maybe as Rick found out, you have to be in the
Correct.
calendar year.
Right.
I can't.
So if you turn 65 now, you could come and apply next year.
right,
You could come and apply now, but it won't take effect.
Till the following year.
you have to be
In
65
the-
January first
In
of that year,
calendar year.
correct.
Don't forget to apply.
I'll try not to. Hopefully you'll remind me.
I will.
So we have all the motions that we.
Yeah, we've got all the motions that we.
We have
provided.
accepted everything.
Yep.
Dave's just double checking the paperwork apparently.
I'm just looking
for No.
who's over 65.
Hey,
There's more people than just you, Dave.
I haven't found my name.
Leon came up the same day that he on the
Sure
radio,
did.
on the news. I mean, hey,
I would.
I would too.
Yep.
yeah. Okay, anything else from anybody? Trish, do you have anything else?
Linda, you feel like we got everything?
I think so.
Where do we here?
I don't know if you need to do the 65 pluses separately.
Yeah, let's go ahead and
Well, if we need to do them at all, because that's a mandate.
Yeah, that's a mandate, so.
We didn't
We don't-
make
we
the
can't-
decision.
we
We
can't.
can't change it.
Yeah, we,
Yeah,
as long as,
I'll make a motion that we accept them and place them on
Okay.
file.
Yeah,
I'll second that,
That's
accept and
second.
place on file.
Aye.
Aye.
I
couldn't
I
have.
was gonna stand against this. but I don't. This
You wanna
one.
say a nay? You
No,
wanna say
no,
that?
I don't wanna be on record that I'm
Yes, old people.
pulling the older folks.
Oh, I mean, you just think about it. And that's what we are. Iowa's becoming especially
It
the
has
little
been.
rural, I know, but even is are even becoming
More and more.
more and more. I mean, we,
All the young people left.
right, well, they're all going to Des Moines, the
We're going somewhere.
They
Council
wanna
Bluffs,
be where the
Omaha,
action is going someplace.
Minneapolis. Yep. All right,
Well, if we
anything
don't
else?
see anything else, look at both adjourned. I'll second Dave.
Okay, we're adjourning at 9:44.
and these are yours.
Oh, wait,